the law of mentalism. What if I told you that everything you experience, the life you live, the challenges you face, and the dreams you chase, all start in one place? Your mind. Ancient wisdom and modern science both agree. The universe itself is mental. Thought is a foundation of all creation. And today, we're diving deep into the Universal Law of Mentalism, the first Hermetic principle that reveals how your mind shapes your reality. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand not only how the universe works, but how to harness this power to change your life. The concept of mentalism has been woven through human history, transcending cultures and spiritual practices. Its core idea, that the mind is the fundamental essence of reality, has captivated great thinkers and spiritual leaders for millennia. The origins of this profound principle can be traced back to ancient Egypt, where it found expression in the teachings of the Kybalion. The Kybalion, a foundational text of Hermetic philosophy, is a tribute to Hermes Trismegistus, a mythical figure often regarded as a fusion of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian deity Thoth. These two deities represent wisdom, communication, and esoteric knowledge, and their amalgamation into one figure symbolizes a union of earthly understanding with divine insight. The Kybalion outlines 7 Hermetic principles, with mentalism as the first and most fundamental. It teaches that the universe itself is a mental construct, emanating from a divine mind. The phrase, "the all is mind," encapsulates this idea, suggesting that the cosmos and everything within it are born from thought and consciousness. This principle asserts that reality is essentially mental in nature, with the mind acting as the creative force behind existence. As Hermetic teachings spread through the ancient world, they became the foundation for various spiritual and philosophical systems. In Gnosticism, a movement that flourished in the early centuries of Christianity, the material world was seen as an illusion crafted by a lesser deity. Gnostics believed that enlightenment came from recognizing the mind's role in transcending this illusion and reconnecting with the divine source. Neoplatonism, another philosophical tradition influenced by Hermeticism, also emphasized the mind as the root of all existence. The Neoplatonists saw the one mind or nous as the origin of all creation, asserting that human minds are fragments of this divine intelligence. To them, attaining wisdom meant aligning personal consciousness with this higher, all-encompassing mind. While rooted in the West through Hermeticism, the principle of mentalism resonates deeply with Eastern spiritual traditions as well. In Hindu philosophy, the concept of Maya, meaning illusion, asserts that the world as we perceive it is not the ultimate reality, but rather a projection of consciousness. The Advaita Vedanta school teaches that the individual soul, Atman, and the universal consciousness, Brahman, are one and the same, reinforcing the idea that our personal realities are shaped by our awareness and perception. In Buddhism, the idea that the mind creates reality is a foundational teaching. The Buddha emphasized that our thoughts shape our experiences, as captured in the famous saying, "We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think." This concept forms the basis of right intention and mindfulness in the Noble Eightfold Path, guiding practitioners to master their minds to attain enlightenment. The interconnectedness of ancient teachings. Despite originating in different cultures and time periods, the teachings of ancient Egypt, Greece, India, and other civilizations converge on the same profound insight. Reality is inherently mental, and the mind is the primary force shaping our world. Whether through the Hermetic tradition, Gnostic writings, Hindu scriptures, or Buddhist philosophy, the central message remains that human beings possess an innate ability to create, transform, and transcend to the power of thought. The law of mentalism, therefore, is not a singular doctrine, but a universal truth, recognized and honored across diverse spiritual landscapes. It calls us to awaken to the creative potential within our minds and to see ourselves as both participants in and co-creators of the greater cosmic order. By aligning our thoughts with our highest aspirations, we can harness this timeless wisdom to shape a more purposeful and fulfilling reality. While the law of mentalism has its roots in ancient wisdom and spiritual traditions, it also finds surprising support in the modern fields of science and psychology. The idea that our minds shape reality is no longer confined to metaphysical speculation. It is a concept increasingly explored and validated through scientific inquiry and empirical research. One of the most fascinating intersections between ancient wisdom and modern science is found in quantum physics. The observer effect suggests that the act of observation itself can influence the behavior of particles at the quantum level. In essence, the simple presence of a conscious observer alters reality at its most fundamental level. Imagine this. A group of physicists conduct an experiment called the double-slit experiment. They fire tiny particles, like photons, through a barrier with two slits and observe the pattern that forms on a screen behind it. When unobserved, the particles behave like waves, creating an interference pattern. But the moment they observe or measure which slit the particle passes through, the wave collapses, and the particle behaves like a solid object. This experiment challenges our understanding of reality. How can mere observation change the behavior of particles? It suggests that consciousness itself may play a role in shaping the physical world. A striking parallel to the law of mentalism, which asserts that the mind influences reality. Now, imagine applying this concept to your own life. If your thoughts are the observers, what patterns are you creating? Are your habitual ways of thinking influencing your reality in ways you haven't yet noticed? Beyond the quantum realm, the field of neuroscience also echoes the principles of mentalism through the concept of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This means that your thoughts shape the physical structure of your brain. Consider this story. Sarah was someone who constantly doubted herself. Every morning, she looked in the mirror and thought, "I'm not good enough." This thought, repeated daily, became ingrained, forming strong neural pathways that reinforce her lack of self-worth. One day, after a particularly tough day at work, Sarah decided she'd had enough. She started practicing positive affirmations, telling herself, "I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough." At first, it felt forced and unnatural. But as days turned into weeks, something changed. Those affirmations became second nature. Over time, Sarah noticed a subtle yet powerful transformation in her attitude and confidence. This change wasn't just in her mind. It was in her brain. Neuroplasticity had done its work, rewiring her habitual thought patterns from negative to positive. By consciously choosing new thoughts, Sarah literally changed her brain. If our brains can be reshaped by the power of thought, what patterns are you creating right now? What beliefs are shaping your daily experience? Now, let's turn to the placebo effect, a phenomenon that powerfully demonstrates the mind's influence over the body. Medical studies have shown that patients who believe they are receiving a real treatment can experience genuine improvements, even when given an inert substance like a sugar pill. The belief itself becomes a catalyst for healing. As an example, imagine Tom, a man suffering from chronic pain. He signs up for a clinical trial and receives a new pain relief pill. Within days, his pain subsides significantly. His mood improves, and he feels hopeful for the first time in years. It wasn't until later Tom discovers he was in the placebo group. He hadn't actually taken any active medication at all, yet his body responded as if he had. How could this be? The answer lies in the power of belief. Tom's mind had interpreted the act of taking a pill as a signal to heal. His brain released endorphins and natural painkillers, reducing his symptoms. This is the law of mentalism in action. The belief in improvement created a tangible change. Now ask yourself, what beliefs are you holding on to that might be shaping your reality, either positively or negatively? Could it be that by shifting your mindset, you could unlock your potential for transformation and healing? Bringing it all together. The ancient sages and modern scientists may speak different languages, but their message is strikingly similar. Your mind has the power to shape your reality, whether through the quantum mechanics of the observer effect, the brain's capacity for neuroplastic change, or the physiological impact of the placebo effect. Science continually affirms what ancient wisdom has taught for centuries. Mentalism is not just a mystical notion. It's a practical principle that invites us to take responsibility for our thoughts and the realities they create. By understanding and applying this law, you can consciously shape your life, transforming not just your perceptions but your very experiences. Understanding that all is mind gives us an incredible advantage. It means that by mastering our thoughts, we can master our reality. While the concept itself may seem abstract, its application is remarkably practical and can have profound effects on our daily lives. Here are some practical ways to apply this principle. Your dominant thoughts are the architect of your reality. If your mind constantly entertains thoughts of lack, fear, or limitation, those mental patterns manifest as obstacles, hardships, or stagnation in your external world. On the other hand, shifting your mindset to focus on abundance, opportunity, and growth can lead to a noticeable change in your circumstances. Think about it this way. If you constantly tell yourself, "I never have enough money," you will subconsciously make choices that perpetuate financial struggle. But when you consciously choose thoughts like, "I am open to new opportunity for wealth," your mind starts to recognize possibilities that were previously overlooked. Take, for example, Michael, an aspiring entrepreneur who felt stuck in a low-paying job. Every day, his inner dialogue repeated the phrase, "I'm just not lucky like others." This mindset led him to dismiss potential side projects and doubt his abilities. However, after learning about the law of mentalism, Michael made a conscious decision to change his thought patterns. Instead of focusing on lack, he began affirming, "I am capable of success, and opportunities are all around me." Within weeks, he noticed a shift. He became more proactive, spotted a gap in the local market, and started a small business that eventually thrived. Another method that many high achievers, from athletes to successful entrepreneurs, utilizes the power of visualization to mentally rehearse their desired outcomes before they materialize. This practice aligns the subconscious mind with one's goals, making success feel more natural and attainable. Imagine the story of Emily, a marathon runner who struggled with self-doubt before every race. Determined to break through her mental barriers, she began visualizing herself crossing the finish line with strength and confidence. She imagined the feeling of her feet hitting the ground, the cheering crowd, and the sense of accomplishment washing over her. This mental rehearsal became so vivid that, on race day, her mind and body already felt prepared for success. She not only completed the marathon, but beat her personal best by several minutes. Visualization works because the brain interprets mental imagery as a real experience. By vividly imagining positive outcomes, you prime your mind to seek opportunities and solutions that lead to those results. Your inner dialogue is more powerful than you might think. Whether you realize it or not, the words you speak to yourself on a daily basis shape your self-concept and influence your actions. The practice of positive affirmations can effectively reprogram your subconscious, creating a mindset that naturally gravitates toward success. For instance, repeating phrases like, "I am resilient," "I am deserving of good things," and "I attract positive outcomes" can gradually shift your internal narrative from one of limitation to one of empowerment. The key is consistency and emotional engagement. Feel the truth of what you are affirming as you say it. Take the story of Raj, a recent graduate entering a competitive job market. Initially, his thoughts were plagued by fear and doubt. After learning about affirmations, he started his day with a series of empowering statements. "I bring value to every team, and my skills make me an asset." Over time, these affirmations not only boosted his confidence, but also positively influenced his job interviews. His energy became more enthusiastic and self-assured, leading to multiple job offers. Given that the mind is the architect of reality, it is essential to cultivate mental clarity through practices like mindfulness and meditation. These practices allow you to observe your thoughts without judgment, helping you recognize negative patterns before they spiral into deeper beliefs. One powerful technique is mindful breathing. Whenever you notice a negative thought, take a slow, deep breath and mentally label the thought as just a thought. This simple acknowledgement breaks the chain reaction that often leads to stress or self-doubt. Meditation also helps in detaching from limiting beliefs. By regularly practicing stillness, you create a mental space where positive, creative thoughts can emerge. As a result, you gain better control over your reactions, leading to more intentional and purposeful actions. Importantly, our emotions are intimately connected to our thoughts. When we experience negative emotions, like anger, fear, or resentment, they often arise from a particular way of thinking. By practicing emotional mastery, we can learn to trace these emotions back to their root thoughts and consciously choose a more balanced response. Consider the case of David, who often felt anxious about public speaking. By practicing mindfulness, he realized that his anxiety stemmed from the thought, "People will judge me." Once he identified the thought, he worked on replacing it with, "I have valuable insights to share." This simple shift transformed his emotional experience, allowing him to speak with more ease and confidence. The ultimate takeaway: the law of mentalism is not merely an abstract concept. It is a practical, transformative tool that shapes the fabric of your life. By understanding that your thoughts influence your reality, you can begin to make conscious choices that align your internal world with the outcomes you desire. Rather than feeling like a passive observer of your circumstances, you become an active creator. Whether through conscious thought selection, visualization, affirmations, mindfulness, or emotional mastery, every effort to train your mind is an investment in your personal reality. This principle reminds us that we are not mere bystanders in the universe, but powerful creators of our experiences. By harnessing the law of mentalism, you can shift from a mindset of limitation to one of endless possibility. To truly harness the law of mentalism, it's crucial to develop the mental discipline and intentionality required for lasting change. This is where coaching becomes invaluable. Coaching helps you uncover limiting beliefs, reframe negative patterns, and build mental resilience. It offers structured guidance as you reshape your reality one thought at a time. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the life you once dreamed of is now your reality. Not because you faked it till you made it, but because you embodied your vision through consistent thought and action. With coaching, you don't just think about change. You become it. If you're ready to unlock your potential, find your purpose, and master the mental laws that shape your life, consider taking the next step. Reach out today and discover how personalized coaching can help you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. If you are still here, thank you for listening.